Ghost on the Veranda by Ruskin Bond. Anil's mother memory was stored with an incredible amount of folklore, and she would sometimes astonish with her stories of spirit and mischievous ghosts. One evening, when Anil's father was out of town, and Kamal and I had been invited to stay that night at Anil's upper story flat in the bazaar. His mother began to tell us about the various types of ghosts she had known. Mulia, a servant girl, have just taken a bath, came out of veranda with her hair loose. My girl, you are not to leave your hair loose like that, said Anil's mother. It is better to tie in a knot in it. But I have a knot earlier, said Mulia. Never mind. But you should not leave your hair loose towards sunset. There were spirits called jinns who are attracted by long hair, pretty black eyes like yours. They may be tempted to carry you away. How dreadful! Exclaimed Mulia, hurriedly tying a knot in her hair and going indoor to be on safe side. Kamal, Anil, and I sat on a string coat, facing Anil's mother, who sat on the another coat. She was not much older than 32 and had often been mistaken Anil's elder sister. She came from a village near Mathura, a part of the country famous for its god, spirit, and demons. Can you see jinns, Auntie ji? I asked. Sometimes, she said. There was an Urdu teacher in Mathura whose children were about as your age. One of boys were good at his lessons. One day, while he sat at his desk in the corner of the classroom, the teacher asked him to fetch a book from cupboard which stood far end of the room. The boy, who felt lazy that morning, didn't move from his seat. He merely stretched out his hand, took the book from the cupboard, and handed it to the teacher. Everyone was astonished because the boy's arm had stretched about 4 yards before touching the book. They realized that he was a jinn. That was the reason for his being so good at games and exercises, which required a great agility. Well, I wish I was a jinn, said Anil, especially for volleyball matches. Anil's mother then told us about Munjia, a mischievous ghost who lives on a lonely peepal tree. When Munjia is annoyed, he rushes from out his tree and upsets tanga and cycles. Even a bus is known to have been upset by a Munjia. If you are passing beneath a peepal tree at night, warned Anil's mother, be careful not to yawn without covering your mouth or snapping your fingers in front of it. If you don't remember do that, the munja will jump down your throat and completely ruin your digestion. In an attempt to change the subject, Kamal mentioned that a friend of his had found a snake in his bed one morning. Did he kill it? Asked Anil's mother anxiously. No, it slipped away, said Kamal. Good, she said. It is lucky if you see a snake early in the morning. It won't bite you if you let it alone, she said. By 11 o'clock, after we had finished our dinner and heard a few more ghost stories, including one about Anil's grandmother, whose spirit paid a family visit. Kamal and I were most reluctant to leave the company on the veranda and retired to the room which had been set apart for us. It did not make us feel any better to be told by Anil's grandmother that we should recite certain magical verses to keep away the more mischievous spirits. We tired one, which went भूत प्रेत पिशाच नाना छोड़ो मंत्र सब निकल जाना मानो मानो शिव का कहना. Shiva. The story is the one of three major Hindu deities. But the more we repeated the verse, the more uneasy we become. And I got into the bed. I couldn't lie still, but kept twisting and turning and looking at the walls for moving shadows. Kamal attempted to raise our spirit by singing softly, but this only made the atmosphere more scary. After a while, we heard someone knocking at the door and voices of Anil and maidservant getting out and opening the door. I found themselves looking pale and anxious. They too had succeeded in frightening themselves as a result of Anil's mother's story. Are you all right? Asked Anil. Wouldn't you like to sleep in our part of the house? It might be safer. Mulya will help us to carry the bed across. We are quite right, protested Kamal and I, refusing to admit we were nervous. But we will hustle along to the other side of the flat, as though a band of ghosts was conspiring against us. Anil's mother had been absent during all this activity, but suddenly we heard her screaming from the direction of the room we had just left. Rusty and Kamal have disappeared, she cried. Their beds have gone too. And then, when she came out of the veranda and saw us dancing about in our pajamas, she gave another scream and collapsed on a cot. After that, we didn't allow Anil's mother to tell us ghost stories at night.